show's back, everybody. Yes, that's right. Whenever you're ready. You're listening to My Band Rocks, an audio biography, and my name is Keir DuBois. I'm not a real musician, but I play one on the internet. Since 1996, I've been a bassist and lyricist in several Southern California bands and side projects. The Mojo Wire, Honey White, Low Tide, Rad Blaster, and my own solo releases. In this podcast, I'm going to tell you all about it. And in this episode, I talk about You're On Your Own by the Mojo Wire, my first band's fourth and final demo album. When rock bands destroy themselves on record, it's usually a group effort. The Beatles bickered like babies on Let It Be, the Eagles slouched into the sunset on The Long Run, and the Police drove each other crazy making Synchronicity. Some musical self-immolations, however, get sparked by one band member's driven, monomaniacal fixation on finishing the project at any cost. Elvis Costello did it to The Attractions on Blood and Chocolate, and David Lowery did it to Kemper Van Beethoven on Key Lime Pie. On a much smaller and justifiably ignored scale, I did it to the Mojo Wire during the making of You're On Your Own, a slab of vintage indie rock that would prove to be our final album. In hindsight, it was totally predictable, but I didn't realize it during the summer of 2000, when we began recording again after a long layoff. The full band hadn't been playing much because of jobs and school, but my brother Bryn and I briefly filled the gap with two extremely low-profile releases. The first experimental Low Tide EP in July 1999. Bryn's all-instrumental solo disc in April 2000. You're On Your Own began as a real effort at a new album, but soon devolved into an open-ended, directionless morass that veered from new songs to live material to remakes of old tunes. Real-world interference slowed progress, but band interest faded in and out too, and what we finally released in June 2001 was more like an outtakes compilation than a bona fide new album. The new Mojo music was strong, though. Our final lineup's chaotic amalgamation of blunt force translated well to tape, and with real effort might have yielded our best release. Everyone was writing. Adam and Bryn both continued the acoustic surf noir of Seaside Hamlet skids, churning out songs like Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday, so crazy how the years just fly on by. Do you remember the fun we had and now it's just I made mine. Don't you know the things we say?
Blue Lantern Cove. The Sandman.
Down into the tree, golden fires glow. Skip along the ashen stream, showing how to swing low.
And You Let Me Fall.
Always make me rise so high before you let me fall. It always keeps me spinning like I haven't moved at all.
Adam tossed off another surf instrumental that I combined with my own latest narcissistic messianic lyrics to make Water into Wine. I also finessed some obsessive-compulsive lyrics over one of Joe's blistering guitar-dominated tunes to make the You're On Your Own title track. As for my own stuff, I added One Last Hallelujah, Heart on a Platter, Fatal Flaws, and The Peak of My Career. To the new pool of material. The songs were there, but recording them all never seemed to be in the cards. I scrambled to try anyway, first on tape and then digitally, but nobody seemed to be in the same place at the same time very often, and I never bothered asking for help. Songs trickled out eventually, mostly in demo form. The first sessions I did with Joe and Bryn saw release as a single, or maybe demo, for Heart on a Platter, backed with Water into Wine and One Last Hallelujah. The takes were crude but powerful. I mostly shouted over Bryn's drum bashing and Joe's dominating guitar. Bryn and I were also keen to improve on the shambolic amateurism of Seaside Hamlet Skids, our third album. So we tried making another demo of old songs, starting new takes of Run From Me, I Fly Free, How Far Away,
How far away are you today? How far away are you today?
and The Shivering Sand. But only completed the latter two. The prevailing raw power didn't bode well for the subtler songs from Bryn and Adam. The frontman himself dropped in for some vocals on Shivering Sand and Water into Wine, but his heavy school and work schedule, plus the intense recording habits Bryn and I had assumed, often kept Adam out of the loop. More band apathy also kind of scuttled Bryn's attempts to finish The Sandman and You Let Me Fall, though they rightly later graced the first Honey White release.
Taken by his brother's reap and lying with his dreams to keep. It's now the Sandman's turn to sleep. It's now the Sandman's turn to sleep. You always make me rise so high before you let me fall. It always keeps me spinning like I had enough it all.
The same went double for all of Adam's songs, with two exceptions. The gorgeous solo instrumental Blue Lantern Cove, and the token goofy novelty stuck on Chapter 9. Joe and I didn't get everything we wanted either. A semi-acoustic You're On Your Own went nowhere.
Though you think you're on your own, the brighter light this star has never shone. Even though your best circles far away from me, our gravity assures we'll meet again eventually.
As did an echo bass driven peak of my career. I was pressuring myself to finish something, anything, even as I ineptly tried gate-crashing a passive-aggressive, exclusionary local Santa Barbara scene that couldn't care less about us. We ended up putting on our own shows, which usually meant buying 2 kegs and destroying the backyard of 6710 Sabado Tarde with a party. Most of these shows were recorded, too, a Mojo Wire first, capturing live takes of You're On Your Own and Fatal Flaws, complete with tuneless yelling from yours truly. And those tapes went into the pile with everything else. But otherwise nothing was working, and it was obvious. Whatever initial excitement we all felt for each other's tunes soon dissipated. I hated that nobody seemed to put in as much effort as I did. Adam hated when we scoffed at his heartfelt lyrics. Bryn hated being unable to push his own songs from behind the drum kit. And sometimes it seemed like Joe hated to even be seen on stage with the rest of us. The operative word was almost always seemed. But young men are terrible communicators, and at the time I was probably the worst of us all.
Too much to think about in my life. I find it hard to sing around what is wonderful and what is wrong. I reach to it to be that sorrow, and I'll put off my life until tomorrow. And I play this game and hope the worst is over. It's making us so strong over and over again.
The downhill rush was halted for 2 great gigs in April of 2001, and another higher profile show in June, to date the Mojo's last. I was desperate to promote in spite of everything, so I compiled 9 songs into You're On Your Own, scribbled out an album cover, pressed a handful of CDR copies, and shoved them at anyone who got within arm's length at our final show. We played a 6-song set as part of a huge bill, got off stage, and stopped doing anything Mojo related for the rest of the summer and most of fall 2001. Bryn briefly went back to Orange County for work. Adam put his nose to the grindstone too. Joe left for 2 months in New York City. I tried to keep momentum going in any direction anyway, this time by taking recording lessons and booking practice space in Santa Barbara's Funk Zone. Once again, though, not much happened apart from 4 or 5 rehearsals in October and November, with the whole band showing up for only 2 of those. The Mojo Wire fell into a hiatus that became permanent when Bryn and I formed Honey White in early 2002. When I listen to it now, the final Mojo album certainly sounds like chaotic implosion, but there are bright spots. Almost all of the 11 songs, I added 2 more to the post-2003 pressing, ooze a wildly lurching swagger, topped with lyrics that sneer with revenge. Like all musical epitaphs, though, the hardest lesson learned was how good this thing could have been if we, or maybe just I, found a way to ignore every selfish hang-up and simply cooperated. That's a lot to ask for smart, talented 20-something people to do, and this time, it was too much to ask. You're On Your Own was recorded and produced by the Mojo Wire in Isla Vista, California, from summer 2000 to spring 2001. The players were Adam Hill on vocals and guitar, Joe Zulli on lead guitar, me, Keir DuBois, on vocals and bass guitar, and Bryn DuBois on drums and guitar. The original analog recording and digital transfer was by me, Keir DuBois. It was remastered in April 2007 by me at My Band Rocks HQ in Ventura, California. All songs written by the Mojo Wire and copyright 2001, except How Far Away and The Shivering Sand, copyright 1999. All rights reserved. That's all for this episode of the My Band Rocks Audiobiography. My name is Keir DuBois. All recollections herein are mine, and if I'm wrong, I welcome any corrections or clarifications from my former bandmates or anyone else who was there. I'll return with another episode soon. Follow my infrequent band posts at MyBandRocksPod on Instagram and Twitter, or visit mybandrocks.com for a little more info. Thanks for listening.